Good evening, viewers. Welcome to this evening's edition of the Regional News. We open with news from Barbados. Barbados will no longer have a curfew as part of its Emergency Management COVID-19 Curfew Directive from Monday. In addition, party cruises will also sail from Monday. This was announced by Minister of Health and Wellness Ian Goodin-Edgell during a press conference to update the country on the Omicron wave. As Valentine's Day is being observed on Monday, the minister noted that patrons will not have to eat, sip, and watch the clock anymore, adding that he knows this move would bring joy to the restaurant owners as the winter season continues. Party cruises will be allowed to operate at 100% of their authorized passengers subject to proof of vaccination and rapid antigen tests and the presence of an officer from the COVID-19 monitoring unit on board all cruises. We now look at news from Trinidad and Tobago. A meeting between Coast Guard officials and their Venezuelan counterparts is expected to take place this week, following the death of a baby on board a migrant boat. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, in response to questions in the House of Representatives, confirmed that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, acting on behalf of the government, extended the invitation. Rowley noted that the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard and Police Service have already initiated investigations. He also noted that condolences have been extended to the Venezuelan authorities and its people, and the sharing of information with Venezuelan Foreign Minister Felix Palencia is also taking place. The Prime Minister said he's also spoken with Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez on the matter. In Venezuela, Venezuelan opposition parties on Saturday staged one of their biggest rallies since the coronavirus pandemic erupted, hearing calls for unity to end more than 2 decades of socialist governments, though they were outnumbered by a pro-government demonstration elsewhere in the capital. Juan Guaido, the former congressman who 3 years ago proclaimed himself Venezuela's legitimate leader, urged the hundreds who gathered in Caracas, the capital, to unify and push for an early presidential election ahead of the currently scheduled vote in 2024. While it may have been one of the largest meetings of its kind in 2 years, it was smaller than a government-organized Youth Day rally elsewhere in the city and far smaller than the demonstrations that rallied behind Guaido in early 2019 when, as head of the opposition-controlled Congress, he said Maduro's re-election had been illegitimate and declared himself acting president. His parallel government was recognized by dozens of countries, including the United States. Still in Venezuela, a birthday party held in a mountain sacred to indigenous Venezuelans has generated outrage over damage to the area in an episode critics see as entitled access, playing out amid Venezuela's prolonged economic collapse. Last week, partygoers celebrating the birthday of businessman Rafael Oliveros were ferried in helicopters to a pristine flat-topped mountain known as Cusari, located in the Canaima National Park in southern Venezuela's ecologically rich Amazon region, according to a statement by a local environmental group. In the indigenous Piman language, such mountains, called tipu, are known for their extremely rare and fragile plant life. The invitees, sporting tuxedos and colorful dresses, posted photos and video of the overnight bash on social media, although many deleted the post as indignation mounted. More than 100 flat-top mountains like Cusari dot southeastern Venezuela, which geologists say were formed when the African and American continents cleaved apart millions of years ago. And that concludes tonight's regional news. Thank you for watching. Good night.